Hello and welcome to Talk Black. I'm Brittany Leaphart. It was an exciting week in news, so let's get right to it. You know how when you were growing up, your neighbors kept a watchful eye on you and made sure to report any bad behavior or anything out of the ordinary to your mother or grandmother? Well, a Kansas grandmother received a letter from one of her neighbors doing just that, except it was a hate-filled letter letting her know her 6 biracial grandchildren were not welcome in the community. The grandmother, who is white, says the letter seemed like a joke at first, but as she continued reading, she realized it was no laughing matter. Take a look.
Nancy Worth says she could barely believe what she was reading. A handwritten letter she says she received in the mail complaining about her black grandchildren.
These people were moving out of their house because of my black African-American grandkids.
The writer says, quote, "This neighborhood does not need any blacks in it." It goes on to say these people belong on the other side of the tracks, a sentiment that baffled Nancy.
I guess I never thought this was real, you know, the hatred for people in the world.
Nancy went to the return address listed and found that home doesn't exist.
Let me talk to them, you know, let them meet my grandkids.
And even if she can't find who wrote it, she says she knows her family still has plenty of support.
We love the neighborhood. And the people that have supported us behind this, there's no need for us to move.
Brazilian authorities have officially charged United States Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte with falsely reporting a crime. As you'll recall, Lochte lied about he and 3 other Olympic swimmers getting robbed at gunpoint when the car they were in was pulled over after leaving a gas station. He told his story repeatedly to multiple broadcasters, including NBC. He has since apologized for his poor behavior. However, the other swimmers have publicly shared their version of what went down, and their stories all match up with the surveillance video released by Brazilian police. Authorities and the swimmers have said there was not a robbery, but guns were drawn by security guards so that the swimmers could not leave the premises and funds could be collected for a bathroom they damaged. Lochte has already lost endorsement deals with Speedo and Ralph Lauren. If convicted, he could face between 1 to 6 months of jail time and pay hefty fines. The 32-year-old also faces potential discipline from the U.S. Olympic Committee and the International Olympic Committee. And the Black Mamba, aka basketball great Kobe Bryant, unveiled a $100 million venture capital fund this week. The retired NBA star and his business partner and co-investor, Jeff Steibel, will utilize their company to invest in technology, data, and media companies. The $100 million comes from both men who hope to make their investments back during the next few years. The firm, which is called Bryant Steibel, has already invested in LegalZoom, Juicero, and the Players Tribune. The firm is based in L.A. R&B crooner John Legend is set to bring the story of Black Wall Street to the small screen. The TV series is set to air on WGN America and will tell the story of the iconic Tulsa, Oklahoma town that thrived from the early 1900s until 1921. Black Wall Street was a very wealthy black neighborhood in Greenwood, Tulsa. The thriving community featured grocery stores, banks, libraries, an airport, and many other thriving businesses. There were numerous expensive houses, all belonging to African-American lawyers, realtors, doctors, and other professionals. The dollar even circulated 36 to 100 times before leaving the community. On late May 31st and June 1st, 1921, the Tulsa race riot occurred and completely disintegrated the community. 35 square blocks of homes and businesses were torched by mobs of angry whites who were enraged about an alleged assault on a 17-year-old white woman by a 19-year-old black man. But many believe they were simply jealous of the community and just looking for an excuse to destroy it. The riot killed hundreds of blacks and left an estimated 10,000 people homeless. The city of Tulsa conspired with the mob and arrested more than 6,000 of the black residents and refused to assist those who survived the ordeal. Law enforcement also dropped fire bombs on buildings, homes, and fleeing families, saying they wanted to prevent a Negro uprising. There were efforts to rebuild the once thriving community, but none of those attempts birthed the success the city once had. This tragic event was erased from the history books, so it's exciting to see John Legend bring this to the forefront 95 years later. And rapper 50 Cent announced on Twitter that he would cast talent from the streets for a TV series telling the story of the Black Mafia family, or BMF. They were the most infamous black crime syndicate in the 90s and early 2000s and made their money drug trafficking. The group was led by Detroit brothers Demetrius and Terry Flannery, who led their operation from Atlanta and California. They were flashy with their money and even put up a gigantic billboard in Atlanta claiming the world is BMF's. Their operation came crashing down when they were apprehended by authorities in 2005. 50 Cent, who is also executive producer of the Starz drama Power, plans to share the juicy BMF story with the world. Though he hasn't released specific casting details, he promises that they will be looking for real and raw talent, even if said talent doesn't have an agent. Be sure to keep watching Talk Black, as we will be sure to update you when the details become available. And remember Atlanta's Freaknik, the once innocent event that started out as a spring picnic for students at Clark Morehouse in Spelman, but ended up as a raunchy twerk fest with great music, food, and events, but heavy traffic, activities filled with debauchery, and was eventually shut down by the city because of the aforementioned. Well, it was almost set to make a comeback this Labor Day weekend, but the owner of the venue where the party was slated to take place told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that the party was canceled, saying, quote, "In light of the year that Black Lives Matter, we don't think Freaknik does." He said he wanted the community to focus on serious issues like combating police brutality and not the 90s party known for causing trouble. Good call. And she was one in a million. Her love rocked the boat, and she was definitely that somebody. This past Thursday marked the 15th anniversary of the death of R&B princess Aaliyah. She was killed in a plane crash that happened shortly after takeoff in the Bahamas. Many celebrities, including Missy Elliott, Genuine, and Beyonce, remembered the songbird on social media. Here's a clip of one of her legendary videos. Word on the street, actor and singer Zendaya is set to star in the next installment of the Superman franchise. The news was met with some anger and hatred as racist trolls on the interwebs were upset that Zendaya, who is biracial, is slated to play the white red-headed Mary Jane, who also happens to be Spider-Man's love interest. But Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee came to Zendaya's defense and told the haters to hush. He said, "If she is as good an actress as I hear she is, I think she'll be absolutely wonderful. The color of her skin doesn't matter. Her religion doesn't matter. All that matters is that this is the right person for the role." Well said, Mr. Lee. Well said. Leslie Jones is back in the news, not for her hilarious commentary of the Olympics, nor her comedic genius. No, folks. No. She's back in the news for internet bullying. This time, internet trolls hacked her website, justleslie.com, and posted what appears to be explicit photos of Jones, along with pictures of her passport, her driver's license, and an image of the gorilla Harambe. Just last month, Jones left Twitter because of hateful online attacks. She later returned to Twitter to broadcast her support for Team USA at the Olympics, which won her a trip to Brazil to witness the events live. Several of her fans, supporters, and celebrity friends have publicly shown their support for the comedian. And just for the record, Talk Black stands with Leslie. Fans of music icon Prince will now have the opportunity to tour his legendary home and studio complex known as Paisley Park. Tickets for the tours went on sale Friday, with general admission tickets going for $38.50 and VIP tickets going for $100. The 65,000 square foot complex located in Chanhassen, Minnesota will feature guided tours of his studios, video editing suites, rehearsal rooms, and soundstage. General admission tours last 70 minutes and VIP tours will last an hour and 40 minutes. Tours start on October 6th. The singer, who died from a drug overdose in April, is sorely missed. In honor of the Purple One, here's a snippet of one of his dynamic performances. His music will live on forever. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Talk Black. Remember, in order to see the change, you must be the change. Have a great week.